Vue.js version 3 is a major rewrite, and one which has came about for multiple reasons. The codebase for Vue 2 was fast, efficient, and performant, but there is always room for improvement in the current design. Led by learning and discovering new things about the project, alongside the ability to now access newer JavaScript features which are available inside of modern browsers. This video is going to give you an overview of some of the key changes, and then later on when we wrote a bit more Vue.js code with a better understanding of how it works, there will be some more dedicated sections to provide some more detail, meaning to not worry too much if some of this doesn't make sense at the moment. First of all, I want to address a big misconception about Vue 3. Since the announcement of the new version, many people think that everything they know so far about Vue is now obsolete. This is not true. You can use the Vue 3 library and still write Vue apps pretty much in the exact same way as you did in Vue 2. Many of the changes are under the hood performance improvements that the developer is not directly aware of. Vue 3 does have some features too, but these are generally additional, meaning if you have any Vue knowledge so far, this is all fully transferable. One of the big improvements of Vue version 3 is the performance. This has been improved in multiple ways, and one of the key things is by using a ES6 feature called Proxy, and this results in a faster and more efficient change detection system. This is a key part in the Vue 3 reactivity, which is the process of Vue reacting to changes and updating where required. For example, if a user updated an item quantity in a shopping cart, we would also want the total price to be updated too. This is the process of reacting to a change. In Vue 2, any data which we had when the app loads is automatically reactive, meaning if some data changes and there is another part of the application which relies on it, that part will also be updated too. So if the user changed their username and this was displayed in the header section, it would update there automatically too. One of the caveats from Vue 2's reactivity system was that if a new property was added to Vue.js after the application had loaded, it would then not be reactive. This is something which Proxies has solved, and we'll look at these in more detail later. Reducing all the size of the code can also improve things too. When we use a framework, we often don't need all of the features which it provides, meaning that when an application loads, we may be downloading additional JavaScript or assets which we don't need for our project. To help with this, Vue 3 is more modular, so more modern tooling can drop out any unneeded code, reducing the bundle size. Another big improvement is a rewrite of the virtual DOM. Again, there is a dedicated video later once we get more comfortable with Vue.js. But for now, the virtual DOM update means that Vue can now more efficiently check which elements have changed after an update. The Vue 2 library was wrote in regular JavaScript, and over time it was realized that a project of this size would benefit from introducing types, which will help reduce errors and bugs. Even though the Vue 3 core has been rewritten using TypeScript, developers can write code either in regular JavaScript or the now fully supported TypeScript 2. TypeScript was available in Vue 2, but it's much more deeply integrated into Vue 3 and also requiring no additional tooling. The composition API is probably the most talked about feature in Vue version 3, and also the one feature which has caused the most misunderstanding about how Vue 3 will force us to write apps in a completely new way. And as mentioned before, the composition API is not intended to replace everything we know about Vue so far. It's intended to be purely additive and gives us a way to make our project more maintainable and reusable as they grow. We will dive into this a lot deeper later on. In addition to this, we also have some new features to explore, such as portals, fragments, suspense, and so much more. The key takeaway is Vue is still Vue, regardless if it's version 2 or 3. But version 3 has some nice performance improvements, along with some additional features you can use. Now we have a little background, let's move on to writing some Vue code.